The time in which the artist Watanabe Kazan was active, the late Edo or Tokugawa period, was a time of great famine, especially in the impoverished Tahara domain where Kazan served as a high-ranking samurai under the daimyo. Though he originally set out to become a Confucian scholar, a popular career path of the upper class during the period, he abandoned this path to follow his natural abilities as a painter and support his mother, 7 brothers and sisters, and father who suffered from a debilitating illness. Studying under Kaneko Kinryo, a former pupil of the renowned artist Tani Buncho, he made money by selling pictures at festivals and became increasingly interested in both Confucianism and Rangaku, the study of Dutch, and by extension, Western culture. The portrait of Ichikawa Beian, considered one of Kazan's finest paintings, illustrates the extent of this Western influence and his rise from humble origins. In the painting, Ichikawa Beian, one of the 3 great calligraphers of the Edo period, wears a dark green kimono and eboshi headgear, which indicates not only his high status, but that of the artist depicting him. Using Western techniques borrowed from Rangaku studies, such as chiaroscuro, or the use of tonal contrast to suggest volume, Kazan makes Beian a powerful and solid character with a composed gaze. Beian's solidity is emphasized further by the contrast between the realistic shading of his facial features and the relative flatness of his garb. The same quality is imbued in the portrait, also painted in 1837, of Takami Senseki, a fellow samurai and Rangaku enthusiast. Again, the lines used to describe the man's kimono are quick and calligraphic, and contain flat forms which accentuates the substantial quality of his face, bringing it into the viewer's foreground. To quell the intensity of these contrasting elements and instill a sense of calm, Kazan employs muted color palettes and surrounds the figures with empty backdrops. From this vantage point, it might seem that Rangaku learning and the artistic styles which accompanied it dominated the art of the late Edo period, but artists such as Urikawa Kuniyoshi found their niche producing art that incorporated these new techniques while still maintaining traditional ones. In the portrait of Muramatsu Sendai Takanao, one woodblock print in a series of samurai portraits made in 1852, Kuniyoshi combines the Japanese ukiyo-e style with shading of forms that are more realistic than what is typically characteristic of the style, and vibrant colors and active figures directly oppose the stillness of Kazan's portraits. While not nearly as busy as Kuniyoshi's work, the portrait of Tomomoto Toyohina, made by Kitagawa Utamaro in the early Edo period, is a good example of the ukiyo-e style without the later Rangaku influence due to the consistent flatness of the forms it holds. Though Rangaku learning was actively supported by Kazan and his peers, the isolated feudal government of 19th century Japan and its leaders felt that any foreign learning was injurious to concepts of nationhood, and as a result persecuted those who practiced it, including Watanabe Kazan. In 1839, 2 years after the portraits were painted, Kazan was sent to a prison for samurai for 7 months on the basis that he had collaborated with a known rebel, planned to travel to a restricted island area, and was a blind devotee of foreign learning. Tragically, in 1841, after being caught selling paintings made during his house arrest that fall in prison, he committed ritual suicide to save his family and friends from embarrassment. Had he lived to see the next decade, some scholars say that Watanabe Kazan would have changed the way Japan thought about the outside world. Whether this is true or not, it is agreed universally that he was a man who worked harder than most and was able, with humor and humility, to rise from crippling poverty to better the lives of others with his work. In his own words, "Just look, spring has come, and even the earthworms emerge from the ground."
Staro